Hi, hello, and welcome everyone. Welcome back to Khelo Dimaag, presented to you by Dream 11. I'm sure a lot of you benefited and enjoyed the last episode between CSK and RCB, where I picked my team. Most of the picks went perfectly right, and it worked well for me. I'm sure it worked well for you as well. So, as we're sitting right now in the Dream 11, the points table is really tight. CSK won against KKR in a last ball thriller. RCB are back on road with some points. The mid table is yet again in a cluster. The top three teams are all 16 and 12 points, while the others are all clustered with 8 and 8. So yeah, you don't know what's going to happen. And with that context, today's game between SRH and RR is going to be a very, very important game for RR. It's quite an interesting game in a way that RR have everything to gain. If they get 2 points, the point table is going to get even more closer. But if they by chance lose, SRH do not have much to gain, but SRH have some labels to try and test, some of their players for who they can retain going into the mega auction next year, some youngsters that they might want to try, but at the end of the day, no franchisee wants to try players and then end up with the risk of losing games. So it's going to be a tricky game with that regards, because SRH is a heavily right-handed team through the middle order. Barring David Warner at the top of the order, they do not have any left-handers through the middle, which cost them the game against Kings 11 Punjab last time at Sharjah, where the wicket was a bit slow and it was aiding the spinners. They didn't have the left and right-hand combination going. So what happened in a similar context for SRH this year when they played their leg in Chennai? A lot of people believed that SRH were playing in Chennai. It was going to be slow, low and turning, and hence Rashid Khan and the spinners of SRH would come into play. Yes, that fact does hold good. They've got a good spinner in Rashid Khan, but their second spinner is a bit of an issue for them. They've not had good second spinners going in. If they have to induct a second spinner, it has to be Mohammad Nabi, which sort of, puts their combination in hold. They'll have to leave one of Kane Williamson or David Warner out. Now that Kane Williamson is the captain, the only other option that they have to leave out to David Warner, because then Jason Holder gives them the combination down the order. So SRH has a bit of a combination issue, but at Chepauk, like I said, where the wicket was slow and turning, their batting couldn't really get them to par plus scores because they do not have the left-handers through the middle order. So they tried Virat Singh, who's a left-handed batter from Jharkhand, who had a good domestic season, got a couple of games here and there. Kedar Jadhav is there in the middle order. Manish Pandey is there. So you don't know which side they're going to go. Are they going to tweak their Indian batting? Are they going to tweak their foreigners? So with that in mind, I will give you a few options for today. With RR, I think what we have to look at is how RR played against Sunrisers in the IPL 2020 at the same venue in Dubai last time. Yes, SRH qualified last year to the playoffs, but RR couldn't. They missed the boat. But this time, RR have more purpose going into this particular game. Who did well? Rahul Tewatia. It was Rahul Tewatia's game to remember. He's always played Rashid Khan very well. He bowled through the middle overs as well. So for me, Rahul Tewatia is a must when it comes to an RR versus SRH derby. So Rahul Tewatia is one of my all-rounders. I'm going in with 3 all-rounders. RR missed out last game with Chris Morris. Chris Morris didn't play against the Delhi Capitals because they wanted to get Tabraiz Shamsi in due to a day game. But this is back to Dubai. It is an evening game, so Chris Morris will slot back in. And my third all-rounder on current form and how he's batting right now, how he batted in the last game, Jason Holder is my captain and my third all-rounder for this particular contest. I'm sure SRH will look to push him up the order, especially with the way their middle order has been batting. Maybe push him at 6 or maybe at 5. I do not know, but he's been getting wickets, bowls at the top and at the death. If you want a wicket-taking captain, then that captain needs to be bowling at the top and at the death. So Jason Holder is my captain with 3 all-rounders. So yeah, I do have 3 all-rounders, which is the first formation of my combination as far as the fantasy segment is concerned. Rahul Tewatia clearly picked because he had a very, very good game against the very same team SRH at the very same ground last time around in the IPL. He played Rashid Khan beautifully, got a wonderful finish. The other person who stood with him and finished and did a little bit of dance was Riyan Parag. I'm not picking because of current form and the way he's batting very low down in the order, and the fact that Rahul Tewatia will come ahead of him because of the way he plays Rashid Khan. And Rashid Khan is someone that they will try and push left-handers up against. And then the next combination based on the all-rounders will be my 3 batsmen. I'm picking 3 batters. The three batters are Evan Lewis, Kane Williamson, and Yashasvi Jaiswal. Yashasvi Jaiswal and Evan Lewis are back at Dubai. They had a wonderful game against the Kings 11, opening the batting, and again against an SRH bowling lineup, which does bowl really well with Bhuvi at the top and all that. But these left-handers will come good at the top of the order. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And the other batter is Kane Williamson. Very hard to leave out because I've left out David Warner, not knowing whether David Warner will play or Jason Roy will slot in. So if Jason Roy or David Warner slots in, I'm not too sure still. If they do slot in, I might bring David Warner in at the last moment. But if it's going to be Jason Roy, I'll still be comfortable playing these three, because Kane Williamson is one batter that will look to play through for SRH. And they've got a battalion of left-arm fast bowlers. So my three bowlers are going to be Chetan Sakaria, Mustafizur Rahman, and Rashid Khan is someone that I cannot afford to leave out in any game. And I know Tewatia played him very well last time, but I think Rashid Khan is someone that you have to bank upon, because everybody else playing the fantasy segment will have Rashid Khan. You cannot afford to miss him out, because if he does pick 2-3 wickets, you will be back in the points section and you will find it really hard to catch up, especially in this game. And I'm taking two keepers, Riddhiman Saha and Sanju Samson. Sanju Samson is a must as far as RR is concerned. He will make those runs, and especially the way he played the Delhi Capitals game last time, batted beautifully, even took responsibility and batted through. I think he will start becoming a run bank soon enough as far as the fantasy segment is concerned. And Riddhiman Saha has been in decent form and has been a banker. Even in the last game, a lot of people think his strike rate might have been down, but that is not the fact. The wicket was such, and SRH lost a lot of wickets, and he does play spin really well. So I am picking Riddhiman Saha at the top. In case Warner or Jason Roy, one of the two play, I might be tempted to have one of them at the top instead of maybe Riddhiman Saha, and tweaking maybe Chris Morris and getting in David Warner or Jason Roy and then tweaking around. If it's Jason Roy, the value is going to be really less, so it can be a direct swap with Riddhiman Saha. If it's going to be David Warner, you can't afford to miss David Warner. Too good a player. So David Warner will come in for me instead of Chris Morris, because that's the equivalent of points, and then maybe shift another player down, and then that will be my fantasy team. So again, my fantasy team looks like this. I might not change much even if Jason Roy comes in, but if David Warner comes in, I will definitely make a change instead of Chris Morris. That will be my fantasy team. Again, I'm going through it. Two keepers, Sanju Samson and Riddhiman Saha, Kane Williamson, Evan Lewis and Yashasvi Jaiswal, my batters. My captain for the day will be Jason Holder, an all-rounder, Chris Morris, and then finally Rahul Tewatia because of the matchups. And the three bowlers will be Mustafizur Rahman, Chetan Sakaria and Rashid Khan. And mind you, if David Warner does come in, Chris Morris, I might think about Chris Morris out and David Warner in, and try and replace maybe Riddhiman Saha with a less value batsman, which is not possible because Riddhiman Saha is not of huge value. So that will be a sort of a combination change that I will look to do. But otherwise, if Jason Roy walks in, I'll still retain the same team. Hope it helps and you will make a good team and keep winning.